Okay, and welcome to Amplify with Purpose, right here from Sydney, the podcast where we talk about life and business and amplifying with purpose and creating the life that you just love living. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of having Jackie Van Baren, who is with me here in Sydney. This is the first in-person interview I have done since we've done this podcast. And I'm super excited because Jackie is also a South African. Hey, Jackie.
Hi.
Thank you for joining
You're
me.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
Jackie is actually a specialist when it comes to automation, tech kind of stuff, anything that helps your business grow faster or produces a better customer experience. So Jackie, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, about your background? How did we end up here?
Sure. I am a tech and automation specialist. And so I help organizations to automate their business processes and diversify their income so that they can work less, but
Mhm.
have more freedom and a better work-life balance, as well as making a bigger impact on the world that they're around.
So we definitely like the whole work-life balance, and more money working less for me is definitely
Yeah,
important, I
absolutely.
think.
Absolutely.
So, Jackie, why do you believe automation is important for businesses today?
I think saving time is number one.
Mm.
I think it's really important that actually not number one, it's probably top three because the customer experience needs to be number one. In order to make the customer experience magical and seamless and beautiful, there needs to be some automation in which saves time,
Absolutely.
saves money,
Mm.
and makes the customer experience better.
Yeah. And it makes it easier. I think when we automate things and we're smart about how we do things,
Yeah.
the customers experience the ease of it. Because I think the biggest frustration for me as a customer is when businesses are clunky and they make it hard for me. And the minute a business removes that clunkiness or the friction in the process,
Absolutely.
then I'm like, yes, I want to do business with you
Yeah,
because it's just so
definitely.
much
And I'll
easier.
come back.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what we want. We want customers who come back time and time again
Yeah.
because we produce a great result. So
Yeah.
we obviously always want to be producing a good result, but we
Yeah.
also want to create that feeling of ease and the feeling that they're taken care of. And I think automation makes it a little bit easier for businesses.
Definitely. Definitely. And personalizing it, personalizing
Oh,
the experience
yes.
so that you're not speaking to random people. You actually look like you are speaking personally to that person.
I love that you mentioned that because I think one of the challenges of automation is personalization
Absolutely.
because we like to think as businesses that personalization means I can put your name in, but still send you the same stuff I'm going to send everyone else.
Yeah, definitely. But
Kind of love it.
if pretty much, but also it's about the little tricks and the little touches that you could put in with automation that people aren't expecting,
Mm.
like a quick "how you doing" email or
Ooh.
a quick "this is what we did for you. What do you think service? Is there anything that could change?"
Yes.
If you think about going to Woolworths, for example, and how on your card you're presented with a whole lot of these things that they look like they just for you
Yes.
on your reward card and things like that. But actually, there's lots that go in the background to make it look like they care about you
Exactly.
and what you need, things like that.
So,
Um,
what are some of the common pitfalls that businesses get themselves stuck into when they do this automation thing?
the funny thing is, people feel like automation is set it up, set it, and forget. But you absolutely need to make sure that what you do create is working,
Mhm.
is still fit for purpose,
Mhm.
and it's not going like in a different way that you originally anticipated it.
Mm.
It might have been brilliant when you first started, but actually 3 months in, there might be something better. Oh, technology always moves faster, or the experience of customers changed as
Yes.
well. So you need to put little things in and out just to take stuff out, put stuff in to make sure that that customer experience that you want is still relevant today.
So, if it's not set and forget, how do we as businesses work around this thing? Because technology changes all the time. As we're sitting here, I'm pretty sure there's a million things that have changed. I read this morning that AI now does voice, which is like, whoa, okay, hold on. So how do we not set and forget, but how do we do it so that it's not a burden? Because it feels like it could become quite hectic.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think it's about constantly reviewing your processes, constantly reviewing what the customer wants, what the customer expectations are, what service that you said you would provide. Are you providing it? Or is some of the things that you originally said that you were going to provide actually not that relevant anymore? So it's about having somebody responsible for it, number one.
Yeah.
But also reviewing it. The people, like lots of different types of stakeholders, reviewing it to make sure that it's actually still fit for purpose. And you can sit down and know confidently that the customer is going to walk through your virtual doors or through your website or whatever it is, and they are going to have the same experience time and time again. And if they don't have that same experience, are you going to rectify it as well?
So all of that sounds like you need an army of people. And that's great if you are a corporate organization, but what about smaller businesses? How do they manage this constant need for keeping an eye on things, for making sure that it's still fit for purpose, making sure that the customer still gets what they need? How do we manage that?
I think it's about keeping things simple and just not overcomplicating what you've said you're going to do. And I think just an email automation, the smallest thing. It'd be two things. The email automation, is it still taking people through the process or people getting stuck? Glance into the email automation system. Are they still there? Do they need to be moved on? Have they come in late? Do they need to be moved through the process? Just, it needs to have somebody just looking after that. One thing that I had recently with a calendar blank, the calendar invite. So I went on somebody's calendar and I booked myself into their calendar so that I could speak to them. I'm here in Australia, they're in the UK. I felt frustrated that I had to keep finding a time. So they had a calendar link. I was like, brilliant, I'll book in with you.
Yes.
I booked a few days later. I turned up for the call and they weren't there. And so I messaged them saying, are we still having the call? And she said, oh, I cancelled that calendar a while ago. I haven't used it since. And it was only auto signature. And so I just think the smallest little tiny bits of detail could have been just take off the signature. If it's no longer part of your process. So if you're going to change things, just remember that there are implications.
Absolutely.
But just if you're keeping everything simple, then those changes won't be such a big deal.
I think one of the biggest mistakes we make as business owners is we get distracted by these cool, shiny things. You've all done it. I know you have. Let's not kid ourselves. And then we jump into it, but we don't have a process to put it in place and to monitor to see whether or not it works. And then we get to a point where we're like, okay, I'm done with this. Or I found a new shiny thing, or I found a cheaper shiny thing, which is also always good. And then I'll just move on from that. And one of the things that my clients know will always come up because what is the process behind this? Because I feel like if we could just for ourselves, it doesn't have to be this big, scary process document that some expert has to go and document. But I feel like we need to put something in place where you've got a spreadsheet that says, this is all the tech I've got. And this is what it is. It's a licensed tech. Well, I own the tech. And this is where it is. Because I speak to business owners so often and they say, you know what, I'm getting these bookings, or my hairdresser, I don't know where these people find my personal number. It's everywhere, because when she started her salon, she didn't think about where is it going to be. So she just put it up everywhere when she was advertising. Now she's got a business number. Now people are phoning on the personal line, but it's because we don't have a way of tracking it. So my recommendation would be to find a place or a way that works for you. It could be a spreadsheet, it could be a document, but just somewhere where you say, this is all the tech I have. And these are the things where the tech needs to be changed, because at some point, especially for growing businesses, you have to update it. And then you've got to go back and say, is it on my website? Is it on my signature?
Yeah.
Is it on an automated email somewhere in my email responder?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the effect of automation in terms of growth and scalability for businesses when they do it well, when they get someone like you in to say, hey, I want to do these things? How does it impact the business?
Oh, wow. I think initially it is an investment, and you do need to set up those processes to work out. Okay, I've got these subscriptions to, I've paid for them for the year. This is what they do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times you buy subscriptions because it sounds great.
Yes.
But actually they do a lot of some of the things that you've already got.
Yeah.
So it's about working out whether you actually need that or whether it's just another brilliant, shiny thing. And then I feel it's important to sit out and map where you are now, map your experience now, the customer experience now.
Yes.
What happens now? What would you love it to be? And what do you need to do from going to here?
Mm.
And what are the pitfalls in between? And then what technology do we have now that could facilitate a brilliant customer experience?
Yes.
Or what do we need to bring in without redoing the wheel?
Mm.
What's the say? Recreating the wheel. So it's important to not jump in because it sounds cool and it sounds like it's going to save you time, save you money, save you peace of mind, save manual mistakes too, human mistakes, but it actually is going to help you and help your business to grow and grow fast. And can your business take on that extra pay?
Yeah.
Is there the right people involved? Because human touch is so important.
Yes.
If that's what your business wants. That's what your customers are expecting.
Yes.
You can't just put an automated service or a bot or something in to replace it. If they're expecting a high quality, personalized one-to-one service, then you've got a group setting that's just not going to help people and not give them what they're expecting.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just important to work out where you are now, work out where you want to be. Do you have the technology involved? Do you have the people involved? If not, get those in first before, because otherwise you're going to just crash and burn. You're going to go jumps and then crash and burn.
So do you have examples of businesses that did it well and how that's improved their experience or the business or? Absolutely.
I actually think COVID helped us a lot.
Yes. Thank you, COVID.
I think it made us move things forward. So the success stories, if you think in the financial industry, when people were still buying and selling houses, we could not go into the bank to get the documentation that you needed. Or in the back in the days where you needed to sign contract for things to exchange. Now everything's done online. Everything is done through an e-signature.
Yeah. In some places.
Not in some places. True. There are some organizations who still value the traditional model and still see that the importance of it. But it's the popularity of auto signatures, of email signatures that is actually growing. Yes. From an online coach, for example, to a financial planner, or having those digital signatures it's just life changing. And that's one bit of technology that has made life easier and made houses and businesses, things move faster and go through the process without leaving the house, for example.
Absolutely. Yeah. And making people print stuff. Those people who make me print stuff. Just saying. So do you have some practical advice on how businesses can strike the balance between the human touch and automation? Because you've mentioned that you can't just necessarily pop in a bot, although we'd love to sometimes just pop in a bot, but I hate speaking to bots. So how do you strike that balance as a business owner? How do you know what you should be doing?
I think it depends on what your business and what your customers are expecting. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, if your customers are expecting high touch, high personalized experience, speaking to somebody in the face, then I think the automation can come on behind the scenes, which will help you to, so there could be automated admin tasks that employees or business owners can do so that they have time to speak to that customer one-on-one, because that's what they're expecting.
Mm.
So it doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be automated.
Yeah.
There's just little bits of your business can be automated to start off with. It's no point in just going, I want a paperless automatic business from day one. If you are a people-led business, it's very important to know who you're serving and what they're expecting first, and then add solutions in the background that will actually support the growth of your business, but still give that personal experience.
I love what you're saying because I'm a firm believer that the process needs to support the experience and not the other way around.
Yeah.
And I think for smaller organizations, it's easy to build the experience and get someone like you in to say, this is what I'd like it to be. Can you help us automate it? Whereas the larger organizations end up with a process that dictates the experience. And it's very hard to undo that because it's the Queen Mary, right? Moving the Queen Mary is course correction. You don't just turn left, which I think is a problem. So many business owners obviously worry about the cost of automation because the minute you say tech and automation, you're like, oh, okay, so we're talking like mid-jillions here. Is that true? What are some of the ways to balance the cost investment?
I think acknowledging that the initial investment in initial setup will cost money, and getting that right and spending the time getting that will outweigh the stuff in the background where when things go wrong because you haven't set it up properly.
Yeah.
That's when things cost more money. So acknowledging there's a setup and then keeping those costs managed and not going with the shiny thing. Oh, look at this bit of software. Because remember, it takes time and effort and money to implement a new solution. So just because that's going to save you $200 a month doesn't mean to say it's actually going to, in the long run, save you money because you haven't factored in how long it's going to take to filter through the organization. I was just start small, know that there's an investment, work out what you want to fix first, fix that, make that look amazing, and all singing and dancing, and then move on to the next stage. But there will be another cost. And it's about looking at the cost against the cost of not doing it, opportunity cost as well.
Absolutely.
And what your competitors are doing. Because if it's available to you, your competitors it'll be available to them too.
Absolutely.
So what's the opportunity cost of that?
So what are some of the trends in automation for small to medium-sized businesses that you're seeing, and what do you think the future holds?
I think I think AI is going to change the way I think it's already changing the way we do things. I think it's been used badly and been given the wrong name, but I think it's been around for a long time actually, but it just hasn't had the word AI associated to it. There's smart homes wherever we go, Alexa, Siri, all these different solutions. I don't know if you ever watched that movie BlackBerry or you ever remember the Blackberries. They didn't adopt the new technology and now they're not even here. So you cannot deny it.
Yes.
It's coming.
Absolutely.
It's about making it work for you and your business.
Yeah.
And I think we're only just touching the tip of the iceberg in terms of what's out there and what's capable. Do you ever think that you are going to be able to speak to people on the other side of the world on a video? No. When you first started working, no.
Wasn't an option.
Zoom wasn't an option.
No.
So now it's my everyday life.
Yes.
If I didn't have a Zoom, did I even work today? Type thing.
Yes.
Because it's just so prevalent. But you have to get on board.
Yes.
On board, otherwise you're going to be left behind.
Yes. I love that. So, parting thoughts and advice for businesses who are treading towards automation, but they're not sure where to start. They don't really know what to do because there's just too much happening. What would you recommend?
Don't fear it. Don't get overwhelmed. Work out what is taking the most of your time, what's also taking up a lot of your employees' time, and how you can make efficiencies in those particular parts of the business. Start small and just work out what's important first and then make changes on the way. Don't just change everything all at once. But also do your research too, because something that sounds amazing, there might be something that is either cheaper or you already have, or it's already included in your Google or
Yes.
your Microsoft. For example, like Calendly, like that scheduling software, that's available in Google. It's not connected to Zoom because they're different technologies,
Yes.
unfortunately. So it'll always connect to Google Meet,
Mm.
but it's still part of your Google
Yes.
workspace that you pay for, no monthly basis.
Mm.
So do you need Calendly? Like just the tiniest of examples.
Yes.
Do you actually need all these shiny things, or are they included and just need a little bit more extra time for you to review what you are
And understanding.
and
Yes.
understanding
Of what you have.
exactly. And is it going to help you, or does it just look good?
Yeah. Another shiny thing. Do you have any resources or places where businesses can go and research stuff or find extra information about tech automation?
You can always come to my website.
Fantastic. What is it?
www.jbbconnect.com. But also, yeah, checking out my blogs. Really, I think that's all I have on that one.
Awesome. There you have it, folks. Don't fear automation. Start small and don't run after the shiny object.
No.
And if you're in doubt, call Jackie.
Yeah.
Hit her up on Google, find her on LinkedIn, and follow her. She shares some really interesting information. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Amplify with Purpose, and we hope that you will employ your automation with purpose. So until next time, take care and thank you for joining us.